So the 10th and final cause of a 7-figure internet business, the sexiest one there is, customer support, okay? I say that half in jest, half facetiously, but I also say it kind of seriously, okay? Because there's a lot of, not just customer support as in putting out fires, there's a lot of money to be made in customer support as well, which we're going to talk about, okay? So the lowest level of customer support to me is how most people think about it, right? It's the simple assisting them with their purchase, helping them get their refund. They don't know where their product is. They don't know how to download it. They don't know how to access the videos. They don't have the right software to access what they bought. They need a shipping number. They need a confirmation number, receipts, basic stuff. That is the lowest level of customer support. The highest level, or the higher level, is much bigger. It's much deeper, okay? It is when they contact you, when you have the opportunity to speak personally with the customer, or your customer support team does, it is making them feel heard and understood and recognizing that they are now a part of something bigger than themselves. That's when you get this badass level of customer support. So for instance, if someone emails us and they're having trouble accessing their product, what does the standard person in customer support do? What's the response like?
Send them a link.
Send them a link, right? I'm sorry to hear that. Here's where you can go to access your product. Let me know if you need anything else. Thanks, right? Very basic response. Is that decent? Sure. Is it excellent customer support? No. Here's the thing. Who here has ever bought a product, didn't know how to access it, or didn't know where it was, and you email customer support? Let me see a show of hands. What were you feeling in that moment? Throw it out.
Like, does it work? Like,
confused? Yeah, like frustrated. What was the other one?
Yeah, confused.
Confused, frustrated. How long is this going to take? Agitated, increasingly agitated. You're not in the best mood, are you? You might not be pissed off yet, but you're a little frustrated, okay? When we feel mad, when we feel frustrated, when we feel agitated, what do we want? What's going to make us feel better? What do we really want in that moment when we're frustrated? Richard, can you close the door? Thanks, man. What do we really want? What's that? A personal touch. Just think about the last time that you were really frustrated by something, right? When we're frustrated and we're getting that blood pressure's rising, right? We're getting a little agitated. We're seeing a little bit of red. We want to be validated, right? The most annoying thing is when you're pissed off about something and you're yelling about it and the other person is just super calm. And you're like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. Hey, just calm down. Hey, just stay calm. No, I'm not going to. Hey, just calm down. Don't you get more frustrated the more calm they get? We want to feel validated. We want someone, check this, to share our frustration with us. If you're pissed off about something and someone's like, dude, I know, this is ridiculous. How do you feel now? You feel better. You feel validated. I'm not the only one. They get me. Do you rapport with that person now? Right? This is why sometimes if you're arguing with someone and they're up at like level 8, level 9, the worst thing you do is just stay calm and try and calm them down. Before you can calm them down, right, pacing and leading, you need to meet them where they're at in order to lead them where you want them to go. So if they're this, don't go, hey, just calm down. You gotta, hey, you're right. This is crazy. This is, you know what? Take it higher. This is insane. This is ridiculous. How could they do this? Do you want to sit down? Okay. Now you got them. It's pacing and leading. It's basic NLP. But in customer support, if they're frustrated, have your customer support team share in their frustration first. What this does is it allows them to feel heard and understood. People don't feel heard and understood. Maybe a little bit if you repeat back word for word what they said. That's definitely a valid thing. But they really feel heard and understood when on an emotional level you guys are there, on the same plane. That's when you really get an effect. And now that person who was frustrated, the customer support person, you're like, I can't find my product. I'm really frustrated right now. Instead of just saying, oh, here you go, here's your link. Because now they feel kind of stupid, right? Instead of that, you go, I am so sorry to hear that. In fact, I think I'm even more frustrated than you are right now. We pride ourselves in customer support. I'm going to handle this for you right now. Exclamation point. Here's your link. Please let me know if you have any other problems whatsoever. And before I go, I want to remind you just how grateful we are that we have a member like you to help us achieve our mission of helping 100 million people become high status. Look forward to talking to you soon. Sign away. Which one's a better response? The second one. If you're a customer and you get that from customer support, how much more do you now love the person you just bought the product from? It's insane. You went from I'm mad to, oh my God, I love you. That quickly. This is how we use customer support. It's not putting out fires, okay? It's stoking their fire of desire even bigger for what you have and how much they like doing business with you. Every time there's a customer problem, that is an opportunity for you to turn an angry customer into an elated customer. You can make them even more joy than before this way, all right? I was flying back from Cleveland from that Dan Kennedy event a few weeks ago on American Airlines. Okay, anyone here fly American to come to this event? Actually, yeah, okay. Not a fan of American myself. Big fan of Virgin, not a fan of American. And I get on the plane, I'm in first class, I'm in the very first row. And you know when you're in the very first row of the plane, you can't have any bags in front of you. It's the only row you can't, you have to store it, you have to put it up somewhere. So I have my backpack and my laptop in there, so I always what I do is I sit down and I try and hide it on the other side of my legs, so the stewardess doesn't see. And about half the time it works, okay? So the whole plane loads up after me, we're getting ready to take off, and right before she walks by and she goes, "Sir, we're gonna need you to put that bag up in one of the storage compartments." And me sitting down, I'm all set up, I got my laptop, I have hot tea here, I'm all in my space, and I'm like, "Do you know if there's any space up here? I didn't see any nearby." And she goes, "I don't know, go check," and walks away. The guy next to me, he just starts cracking up. He's just not in a bad way, just he was stunned. I actually felt in rapport with him, right? And I was like, "This is customer service in 2017." He was like, "I know, it's ridiculous." And 20 years ago in first class, it was an experience.
That's first class.
Yeah, it meant something more than a bigger seat, right? That's all first class is now. Board first, bigger seat. Back then, it was a superior experience. The food, I unfortunately never got to have the experience of flying first class in the 70s and 80s, but what I've heard is that it used to be amazing up there, like a party.
I did it in the 90s. I used the
You remember?
shit.
Yeah. The food, it was like 3-star Michelin chef food, incredible food, all the food and drinks you want. And the biggest thing that I've heard, so my girlfriend's, her dad, he has built the food carts for planes for over 40 years now. He's the only person who has a patent on it, so he builds those. So I've heard all the stories I know things about airlines you don't want to know ever. Okay, for instance, half the cargo on the plane is not people's suitcases. It's cadavers. It's dead bodies being shipped because this guy died in Seattle, but his family's in Tampa and he's being buried in Tampa. How do you get the body there? Commercial airlines. And this is happening all the time, all right? Fascinating. Not related at all to what we're talking about here. But he's telling me that the biggest difference is just the attitude of the stewardess or the guy. What's the male version of a stewardess? Anyone know?
Flight attendant.
Okay. Flight attendant. They put the customer first. Whatever you wanted, they got. They treated you with a smile on your face. They remembered your name. They did whatever they could to make the experience as brilliant as possible for you. Today is, I don't know, I'm working. Go find for yourself. Okay? Do you think American Airlines lost a customer that day? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay? Do you think they're losing more because more people are watching this? Yeah. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. So I did a little digging and I found a couple of funny stories about people's experiences with other customer service. Okay, so I'm gonna read a couple to you right now. So this one is from Shelly, and here's the story that she said. Okay, she was trying to get something fixed for, I don't know what the product was, but this is what she goes to the customer support person. She goes, the customer support tells her, Shelly, you will have to go online and fix this. She replied, seriously? I'm talking to customer service, a real live human being, and you can't do anything for me? Yes, ma'am, you need to go online to do this. So I asked her, what exactly do you do? Response, I'm not really sure. Real response, I'm not really sure. Sounds about right. Here's another one. Here's the story. Her name's Deborah. She goes, my father passed away. I called the credit card company to cancel his credit card account. I said, my name is Deborah. My father, Pat, passed away, and I'm the executor of the estate. I am calling to cancel his account. The rep replied, well, I need to talk to Pat. I said, listen very carefully. He's dead. Now, if you want to talk to him, you will have to figure out how to give me your supervisor. The supervisor gets on the phone and says, and once the supervisor gets on the phone, Deborah goes, hi, do you have a connection to God? I need to talk to my father so he can talk to you. And she started cracking up laughing and she heard about the conversation. Okay, your dad just died, you're calling to cancel the credit card, and you're like, I have to cancel, I'm the executor of the account. And the person goes, I need to talk to him. I need to talk to, yeah, your dad who just died, I know that wound is super, super fresh. A lot of healing has to take place, but I need to. This is most customer support nowadays, okay? This is such an incredible opportunity for you to stand out to your customers. You can be slightly above average and stand out, or you can make them feel super heard and understood and in rapport, and you can make them love you and love doing business with you and love climbing your ladder. A bad customer service experience for a lot of them will mean they will never buy another product from you. They may buy, a lot of times they'll buy a cheap one, right? They'll buy another cheap product if it's an impulse purchase. $9, $5, $20. They won't climb the ladder though, okay? You have effectively removed any more steps with your poor customer service. A lot of times, we've had instances where a guy emails into refund and we flip him into buying an even more expensive product, okay? That's not with being super persuasive or power influence triggers. Or it's just simply what we do, what I always do, and I didn't know this at first. It took me a few years to figure out. Once I did, I jumped on it. Was, if this person bought a product in the first place, do they have a pressing need, yes or no? Yes, right? Is there something that they want to solve in their life? That's why they bought the product, yes or no? Yes. Yes. Now, if they're calling in or emailing in saying they want a refund on the product, have they had that pressing need met yet?
No.
No. So do they still have a problem they want solved?
Yes.
So if we deliver the right thing that can solve that problem, doesn't matter how much it costs? No. That's how we flip it. It came down to us saying, we're not going to say it in so many words, but us saying, let's just set aside, we'll set aside the refund for a second. And we can absolutely do that. We always honor that 100%. But I really care about you. I genuinely do. You came here for a reason. There's something that you wanted solved in your life, something you wanted to make better, a new level you wanted to get to, something in your life you wanted changed. I would still like the opportunity to help you get there in the fastest, most effective time possible. So is that okay with you? Yes. Great. So what was the need? How can I help? Tell me. Maybe we can find the right solution for you. Maybe that product wasn't it. What might it be? Tell me the problem. Am I listening to them now? Are they being heard? Are they being understood? When we diagnose and then prescribe them the right solution, are they much more likely to be like, okay, I'll try that? Absolutely. And I'll tell them, listen, we don't normally do this, but I appreciate you taking the time to keep listening and keep an open mind. So why don't we, here's what I think is going to work best for you. This is what you need. This product here will solve that need. Why don't you try it for 7 days on me? If you love it, do nothing, and then we'll bill you the full price for it. And if not, then no harm, no foul. Does that sound fair? What are they going to say to that? Yes. Of course. And they're going to be fucking happy about it. Finally, someone who's not just doing business on a transactional level, but an experiential level, a rapport level, I'm feeling heard and understood level. That's the kind of people we want to do business with for a lifetime. All right, so that is the psychology of customer support and how powerful it can be for you. Who here does customer support right now in their business? Let me see a show of hands. One person? Who else? Okay. Do you do it yourself?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Do you have a ton of volume or not yet?
No, very small.
Very small volume right now. Okay. Good. You as well? You do yours right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. The reason I say that's good is the big thing with after we get past the psychology and communication of customer support is building the systems for it so you can hire your first customer support person. Okay? This was the first system I ever built in a business. I didn't realize that systems were a thing. Right? I thought we just respond spontaneously to everything that happens in the business. How stressful do you think that is? Right? You want systems for this stuff. What I mean by that is there's going to be a pattern of issues that your customer support is going to see, and you need to write scripts for each of those common issues. So when it happens, the customer support person doesn't have to create something on the spot. It's copy and paste. So what are all the most common situations that your customer support deals with? Okay, well, let's get a list going right now. What are all the common situations that your customer support might deal with? Just throw them out.
Can't access the problem.
Refunds, what else?
Can't access the product.
Okay, so a product accessing problem, a product problem. Great, what else?
Cancel subscription.
A recurring subscription? Sure, what else?
Some kind of question about it.
They have a question about the content in the product. Yep, absolutely. What else?
Information about other products.
Information about other products. Great, what else?
Resisting the upsells or actually like creating real business with everything.
What do you mean?
So in order to receive the higher commissions, they have to buy the products. So when you move them through, like they just don't want to do that. They want to stay with just it's $99.
So they don't like your ladder.
Exactly.
They don't like the ladder. Sure. What else? How about getting a testimonial? Absolutely, right?
Questions.
Getting positive feedback, yep. Right, so we said questions about the content.
No, questions like just for you.
Questions for the product creator. Yep, absolutely. Questions for the coach.
Someone say complaints.
Sure, complaints. So it's not a product or refund or cancellation, it's just a complaint in general. Sure, that'll happen too. People like to complain about stuff sometimes. It only trains yourself to be more low status. I wouldn't do it, but people do it. What else?
They want a number. They want to know like what your support number is.
They email you because they want to call you.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we got 10, right? There's probably a couple others, but those are the big ones. So all you would need to do now is type up a response for each of those. Save them in a Word document, a Google Drive document. Maybe you can use an online service like Zendesk, which is a third-party service that will help you with your customer support if you're dealing with a high level of volume. And once you've written those, that customer support person, all they need to be able to do is copy and paste the right message for each of that problem, right? It's just the same 10, 15 things over and over. The key thing with customer support, if it's you or someone else, and if it's someone else, is going to be, honestly, just show them the video of this module at the start and training them and teaching them and indoctrinating them into the psychology of customer support and holding them to a higher, newer level, a newer standard of what it means to do customer support with you. That's the key thing, because if they know that and if they get that, if they see a unique type of response or question or request come in, and they see the script is close but it's not perfect, they can tweak it themselves, not in a way of, oh, here's your link, but in a way of making the other person feel more heard and understood and accepted. Okay? So what things should all communications have, all the different scripts you write? There's a few things they should all have. Okay? They should all thank them for being a customer. That should be in there. Okay? A key thing should be finding out or making them feel heard and seen and understood in everything we talked about. That's the key one. It should never, ever make them feel wrong, especially if they're wrong. Okay? They should never feel wrong. It's your responsibility. Even if it's not, take the responsibility off their shoulders, okay? Never make them feel wrong. It should always, in general, of course, take care of what they need. And if it's a refund or a cancellation, something, it should always be an offer in there. Offer them a chance to not refund. Offer them a chance to not cancel. If they're not trying to cancel, they're not trying to refund, it's something else. Have an offer in there that gives them a chance to upgrade. For years, we had a tagline underneath our head of customer support, Sophie, underneath her name with a link that said, PS, ask me about our special deal of the day. A bunch of people would email, they'll go, I'll bite. What's the deal of the day? Okay. There's an opportunity to get every Jason Capital product at a discount. Some people bought it. Okay. It's not perfect, honestly. If I went back in, I'd probably change it. I might now, but there should always be an offer for them to upgrade as well. If it's a refund or cancellation, there should be an offer to help them not refund, an offer to help them not cancel. But if it's not about that, I would always have an offer in there for them to upgrade. And a very, not a pitch, just it should be there, right? It should be an opportunity there. And lastly, you should go back and you should edit these scripts every 90 days. Just make a note that you're gonna spend 1 hour every 90 days going back and editing the scripts, because you're gonna get smarter, you're gonna get wiser, you're gonna get better with psychology, you're gonna get better with copy and communication. Times are gonna be changing, you wanna update them. Always do that. And lastly, let's say that they want a refund and you've done everything you can and they still want that refund. So you refund them, of course, right? How can you leverage that into still being a monetization opportunity as well?
Send to an affiliate.
Right, we talked about that last weekend, right? So what Ryan was referring to is if the refund is just they want it and that's it, refund them and then let them know, hey, I'm sorry it didn't work out, genuinely, right? You are sorry it didn't work out, and and for a small percentage of people that we see this, that it's just not the right fit, and that's okay. But I do want you to know that for the people who this product doesn't work out for, we have found an alarming, amazing pattern that this other product from my good friend, whoever their name is, actually works incredibly well for solving that exact need and the reason why you came here. What I'd like to do now is link you to that so you can check it out and we can see if we can still ensure, even if it's not going to be with us, that you get exactly what you came here for. Great business, right? And the best part is they leave with a good taste in their mouth, right? Leave on great terms. They're open to coming back now. I've had a lot of people who refund products of ours. Sounds bad. When you have tens of thousands of customers, you're going to have refunds, right? But we've had, when I say a lot, I mean like 30 or 50 people who refund stuff, and then a year later, they come back and they buy everything. And they're like, I don't know what I was thinking, dude, right? And that's cool. If we'd left on bad terms, it would have never happened, right? Always leave on good terms. Okay, so let's do a little exercise right now, okay? What I want you guys to do, based on everything that you just heard, I want you to take 90 seconds, and I want you to do this at home too, and I want you to just brain dump every good idea, tactic, or strategy you are thinking or is in your brain right now that you want to do for your own customer support. So go do that now. 90 seconds, just don't let that pen stop, don't let the keyboard stop. Just get it all out of your head and onto the paper. All right. Give it a rest for a second. And what I want you to do now is just either circle if you wrote it down or bold the top 1 or 2 things that you just wrote down. The top 1 thing, the top 2 things that you think are the most powerful. All right. Who wants to share something that they circled or something that they bolded with the rest of the group? Something that you think is super valuable.
Asking for feedbacks and reviews, both negative or positive. So that in case of negative reviews, I can improve the products.
Mm-hmm.
In case of positive reviews, I can have testimonials.
Yes. Good. Where are you going to put that?
I can put it in my newsletter.
Mm-hmm. I would put it in the autoresponder. For instance, so it's a book, so maybe, I don't know how long it would take for someone to, on average to read the book,
Sure.
right? So maybe 3 days after purchase. Could be the second day, 5 days, somewhere in that first week. I would put an autoresponder in there to get that feedback, for sure. All right, who else wants to share? One that you really liked.
Systemizing responses for those people who ask for refunds.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously sending them somewhere else. Figuring out where.
Yeah, see if we work something out off camera. The other thing you can do is, especially once you start to deal with more volume of customers, is split test different scripts in terms of like refund savers. Absolutely. Definitely. Try 2 different appeals. You'll find one works better for sure. The other thing in general we didn't talk about is though the customer support have a picture of the person, like in their signature. People, for whatever reason, feel it's okay to be more mean or cruel or rude if there's no picture. But when they see a picture and they know it's a real person, they're a little more normal. Just something weird, okay? That's true.
You need a photo of the service rep.
Of the customer service rep, exactly. Yep. Good practice to have. Okay. All right, so that'll wrap up this module. Were there any other questions on customer support you guys want answered right now? Good. All right, I think we covered that in full detail. So that'll wrap up the 10th cause of a 7-figure internet business, and I'll see you guys in the final module.